Hi divers, Alec, Peirce, Scuba 2000 with Tech Tips, Series 3. It's like Season 3. This is a brand new season. It's the 1st of February, roughly, and we haven't had a tech tip out for just a little bit of time. Not since we were in Palau, I think, was the last time we had a tech tip out. And since Palau and Truck Lagoon, we've been back at Scuba 2000, got through Christmas, been to Cozumel already. Had a great time in Cozumel, diving with Cozumel, great group there, and went down to Deep Paddling Car. Just a wonderful trip. I've always enjoyed Cozumel. It's affordable, world-class diving, a lot of fun. Even coming back from Truck Lagoon, Cozumel is still a lot of fun. Anyway, here we are back with Tech Tips, and I've got some really good ideas for you. While I was traveling, I was thinking about what would divers like to know? What little things can I share with them that might make their diving a little more fun, a little bit easier? And I've come up with quite a few ideas. A lot of these ideas are ideas that I get because I'm working here in the service center almost every day, and they see all kinds of equipment coming in, and they got a variety of problems, not always the usual problems. And if I can help you to avoid some of those problems, then I'm happy. Today we're going to talk about the second most important piece of equipment that you have. The single most important piece of equipment you have is not your regulator or your tank, that's what some people think, but it's the mask. The mask, single most important piece of equipment you have. If your mask doesn't fit and allow you to see easily and well, if it leaks and fogs up, you're not going to enjoy the dive. If you don't enjoy the dive, what's the point? Plus, it might be unsafe as well. Mask, most important. Second most important, what do you think that might be? Well, as a matter of fact, it's the thing that you put in your mouth. I don't mean the regulator, I mean the mouthpiece. This thing right here. And once again, the mouthpiece on the regulator is critical to your enjoyment of the dive, and that's what it's all about, right? Enjoying the dive. If you put the mouthpiece in and it hurts your gums, common complaint, you can't hang on to it, it comes off the regulator, I've seen that happen, or any other problem, it's uncomfortable, you're not going to enjoy the dive. Through the entire dive, you're going to be fighting and grabbing, and it's just not going to be any fun at all. So we're going to talk about mouthpieces today. There are lots on the market, all kinds of different types. So I'm going to show you, first of all, some of the different types, and then I'm going to show you how to change the mouthpiece. You can do this yourself. You don't have to go to a dive store to change the mouthpiece. I'm going to show you how to change it, and a couple little tips that aren't in the book. I love sharing things with you that aren't in the book, things I've learned, usually the hard way. So first of all, let's look at mouthpieces. This is about as regular, as normal as you can get. Take a little closer look here, divers. A mouthpiece, pretty common, has a flange that seals against your gum line, and then a couple of bite tips that you hang on to, and that keeps the mouthpiece firm in your mouth, keeps it from falling out. You don't have to bite on it too hard, because then you won't be able to breathe very well through it. And the mouthpiece fits onto a regulator and is held on by a zip tie, wire tie, one of these plastic straps, whatever they're called. And that's pretty standard. In fact, you can take any mouthpiece anywhere and put it on any regulator, almost without exception. They're all completely universal fit. This is pretty standard, and you see this is made of white silicone. Here's some other, you'll see black mouthpieces as well. This is exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's just black silicone. Why would you want black? Well, mouthpieces were traditionally black for many, many years. So some divers like to have a black mouthpiece. Also, this may sound not very nice, but the black doesn't show the dirt. So if your mouthpiece gets really dirty and grungy after a while, you won't notice if you have a black mouthpiece. Think about it. Now here's something a little bit different. Did you know that there are different sizes? Look, standard mouthpiece for a standard mouth like Kevin's, and a smaller mouthpiece for a small mouth like mine. So if you have a smaller mouth than most people, or a small mouth, maybe a lady or a young person, you can actually get smaller mouthpieces. If you didn't know that, maybe that's a big surprise, and you get to your local dive store and say, hey, I need a smaller mouthpiece. You can't get them bigger, Kevin. Sorry, you can't get bigger mouthpieces. There's no such a thing as an extra large mouthpiece. Okay, let's look at something else. This is a little bit interesting. Some divers didn't know about this. Let me show you this as well. This looks like the same type of mouthpiece, right? But this one has a bridge across it. You see that? A bridge on the top that goes in. This is called an orthodontic mouthpiece. They're all about the same price. It fits into your mouth, and this bridge is up top. It gives a little bit more support. Doesn't crush as easily. Some people really like these. I've tried this. I don't know. For me, it didn't work very well. This thing was touching the bridge of my mouth, and maybe I'm very sensitive up there. I don't know. But it's available. Orthodontic mouthpieces. Now here's another mouthpiece that's kind of interesting. This particular one is nice because the flange, the silicone or black rubber part, in this particular case black silicone, is very soft. It's soft and it seals really, really well. But if a mouthpiece is too soft, when you bite it with your teeth, it'll crush. And if it crushes, it closes off the mouth. You don't get air. So this mouthpiece on the tabs has little hard plastic bites. So when you bite on this, you can get a really good grip. But the seal is soft against your gums. Again, if you're having problems, if the mouthpiece is bothering you, maybe that's an answer. Another way you can sometimes address that same issue is to get this mouthpiece. We call this a wisdom mouthpiece. I'm not sure where that name came from, but it's a name that we use. This mouthpiece looks to be pretty standard, but notice how much longer than a standard mouthpiece. The bite tabs are much longer, a lot more surface area. So you can get a lot more teeth on it. So you don't have to bite nearly as hard. You can sort of put it in the mouth and hang on it very loosely with your teeth, and then there's no danger of the mouthpiece or regular falling on your mouth or leaking. So that's another different type of mouthpiece. And that mouthpiece, in fact, most of them come in different colors. So if you want to have a pink or a yellow or a blue mouthpiece, that's easy to get. Finally, let me show you the ultimate in mouthpieces. This is the ultimate. Well, we'll call it the ultimate. It isn't right for everybody, not for everybody, but some people really like it. This is called the Secure Moldable Mouthpiece. And this is pretty slick. First of all, you notice it comes with a plug. So even after you've installed it, you can put this plug in place to keep, I don't know what to keep out, but whatever, water, dirt, whatever. But there's a little plug that comes with that. Maybe that's not so terribly important, but this is really neat. This goes onto your regulator. You put it in your mouth, and it fits perfectly every time. Why does it fit perfectly every time? Because you make this mouthpiece fit your mouth and your teeth. First of all, you cut the ends off a little bit off of here so it doesn't go back and dig into your gums, so you make it the right length. Then next, you put it into boiling water. All the instructions are in there with the Secure package. You put it in the boiling water, and you take it out of the boiling water. No, don't put it right into your mouth. That'd be silly, but let it cool for just a second or two, then put it into your mouth and bite on it. Like that with your teeth. And what do you end up with? Well, you end up with this. Oh, look at that. Those are your teeth marks. Now, when you put this into your mouth and you bite on it, it fits perfectly. Now, it only fits your mouth. Maybe that's a bonus. But when you bite on this, each tooth sinks into its own little hole. It doesn't come out. You don't have to bite down hard on it. This is a Secure Moldable Mouthpiece. Really a good idea for more of that. This one does cost a bit more. Most mouthpieces are in the $10, $12, $15 range. This is almost $40. But it really can solve a lot of problems. Another interesting thing a lot of people don't know, even though they own a Secure, is you can remold it. You can take this mouthpiece, put it back in the boiling water, all the teeth marks disappear, and you remold it. Maybe you have a tooth out, or maybe you get a bridge or something. I'm not sure why you do that, but you can do that. So this is actually the ultimate mouthpiece. That's what we call it anyway. Okay? So there's different types of mouthpieces for you. Now you notice that each one of these mouthpieces comes with a strap, with a wire tie or tie wrap to put it on. They usually come with one, and that's good because when you take the mouthpiece off your regulator to put a new one on, you destroy the old tie wrap. So each one comes with one of those tie wraps. And I'll mention right now another small thing. Maybe you and your husband and your kids all have the same type of regulator, and you want to have some way of telling the regulators apart. Well, you don't have to get a black tie wrap. They come in about 10 different colors. So if you want to have a black mouthpiece with a nice orange tie wrap for yours, and your husband can have a mouthpiece with a blue tie wrap, you can do that as well. Small thing, but I thought I'd mention it to you. Okay, now the important part. Let's take a look at how to put a mouthpiece on. It's simple, right? It's really simple. These don't even come with instructions, but there's a couple of small things you should know. First of all, the old mouthpiece is held on by an old tie wrap. They're hard to get off. The easiest way, so you don't hurt yourself, rather than using a knife and cutting yourself, is get a pair of side cutters, a pair of pliers. Grab the nub, squeeze, it's off. There's the old strap, see? Now grab the mouthpiece, pull it sideways, and the mouthpiece is up. There's the old mouthpiece. Now if it's still in pretty good shape, keep it as a spare. Keep it as a spare mouthpiece. That's not a bad idea. So keep that if you want. If it's torn, then throw it out. You don't want to make a mistake and put it on. How do we put a new mouthpiece on? Well, let's take one of these mouthpieces and put it on. I'll take this nice yellow one. We'll put this new mouthpiece on. First of all, a couple of things. On one side of the mouthpiece, there'll be a word. It'll say Sherwood, or it'll say top, or it'll say mouthpiece. It'll say something. That's the top. That's the top. The word goes up. So you just put the mouthpiece on. Boy, that was easy. Huh. Just fits on like so. Then take your new zip tie, wire tie, put it in the groove. That's pretty simple. Put the wire tie, hook it together. I think everybody knows how these work. Hopefully I don't have a tech tip on how to use a wire tie. But anyway, so pull it nice and tightly like this. Now here's what I do. Watch this. Take needle nose pliers, grab that end right there, right against the nib, and twist. That really pulls it tight. It's on there tight. No, it's not going to come off. Now take your side cutters again, snip off the tail, and you're done, right? No, you're not done. This is where most divers and many dive shops stop. It's not in the book. Here's what you do. Look, right there, that little piece is, oh, jeepers, that's really sharp. That'll cut your mouth. I've seen divers come out after a dive, usually in cold water, and they actually have bleeding from the corner of the mouth, from that little thing cutting them. So now what you do is you take your sharp knife, or, you know, I've used nail clippers, or if you don't have that, use a fingernail file, works really well, and just make sure that that sharp, there, that, look at that, nice and smooth and safe. Now the mouthpiece is on. Away we go. Let's go diving. Now, one last thing I wanted to show you, because I think this was in the previous video, is about the Sтерosol. If you don't have your own regulator, your own mouthpiece, then this is a good idea. This is actually disinfectant for your mouthpiece, but you can use this on your own as well. If you've not used your mouthpiece, your regulator, for a while, sitting in your dive bag with the spiders and the ants and all that neat stuff, or if you're using rental equipment, or if you've loaned for any reason where you're not too keen about putting that in your mouth, you don't know where it's gone, then get a can of this. It's easy. Sterosol. It's designed specifically to clean, condition, and deodorize scuba mouthpieces. Scuba mouthpieces. That's what we're talking about. Watch. Quick rinse. Perfectly clean. Ready to go diving. All right, guys. Hope that's something in there maybe has been of interest to you, maybe help you a little bit. This is something you can do on your own, which is always nice, and it might make your diving a little easier, a little more fun. First tech tip of the season, how to change your mouthpiece. Hope you enjoyed that. This is Alec Peirce from Scuba 2000.